A summary, basically, of the findings we found, but let's proceed in the right order. Lillehammer priorities. Actually, it touched upon 4 priorities, as Morten said. The safety message to the riders, in partnership with the riders groups in order to have a better understanding of the kind of message to be distributed and acceptance of the message. Integrated awareness campaign, regular, targeted, etc., in line with what just Pierre said. Portray a responsible riding, promote and market motorcycling responsibly. And the last one, number 10, priorities, is awareness of PTWs and mutual respect between road users. So these were already set up by the working group experts in 2008. Now, I'd like to remind something which I show at the beginning of the session, of the day, basically, about the outcomes, because we've heard from Werner the importance of the need to segment, and we had some illustration of the campaigns. Like, for instance, I have in mind the last one, the third one in the Flemish part, with the lady and the children telling the man that he should master his motorcycle before going. Well, if we take into consideration, I'm just going to head towards the not this one. Oops. Yeah, I mean, let's say anyone. This one is the type of use. I mean, some safety campaigns which will work in some countries will definitely not apply to the kind of problems that other countries face. I was looking for the slide with the difference in the family situation, but I did not put it in this session. But basically, if you remember this morning, there was a slide where we actually could see the difference between Eastern countries and Western countries. Western countries having children and being in couple, while Eastern country riders being alone without children. Well, definitely the kind of campaign Werner showed with the lady and the voucher being given by either the children or the women would not work. So this is really a focused issue to be addressed. So in the project, what we did is we collected example of campaigns. This one is the one Werner showed, but we collected several other campaigns, and we asked the different stakeholders we've interviewed, being from the motorcycling community or from the road safety side, member states are meant, to evaluate. Of course, it's a subjective evaluation, and one of the aspects about the evaluation is coming back in the recommendation, but the subjective evaluation is actually quite consistent. So I'm starting with good campaigns, evaluated as good campaigns. So Werner, you will be pleased to know that this was evaluated very positively by the community. Another good campaign from Germany was one on restrain the throttle, so basically targeting a bit similarly what the Wallonian, the behavior and keep control of yourself. Same thing was also evaluated quite positively. That's one in Italy, which was evaluated positively. This one is a video, actually, but basically the video says, on a motorcycle, the danger is to think there is not. So again, addressing the control of himself. Another one, you need to use your head. Or other campaigns which are evaluated, it's the need for the other road users to pay attention, so a bit similar to what the FIA has been showing to us. And of course, the Think campaign is evaluated very highly by all the motorcycling community, so very well received. And this is the one campaign which Mac Belgium was referring about, is an annual campaign about the motorcycling community proposing to screen and advices for the riders themselves. Another campaign done by the motorcycling community from Norway. A very interesting thing in Norway I picked up from the interview is the fact that basically the riders groups are the only one running campaigns. So they are receiving, if I'm not mistaken, they're receiving money from road authorities to run the campaigns. Road authorities do not run any campaigns. Now, these has been rated negatively by the community. because of a series of elements. Because we have a bit of time, I would like, maybe this is this time, I'd like to see, because I'm starting with bad campaigns, and I would like to know, based on your expertise, all of you, if you can tell me or give me reasons why these are perceived as negative campaigns. So basically, this is a Belgian campaign. The campaign is targeting both car drivers and motorcyclists, and the message is have respect and consideration for each other. However, this campaign has been rated very negatively by the motorcycling community. Any idea why? Yeah. Maybe the Skype conversation is actually providing an answer. Werner?
It's maybe because motorcyclists themselves see themselves as victims in accidents, and our main victims when an accident happens, the motorcyclist is the one who's getting hit and ends up in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Any other suggestion? Yeah.
It's hard to face the truth.
Because it's often the result. It's often the result after an accident that the motorcycle rider sits in a wheelchair. And it's not nice to see it. Nobody wants to see it, and nobody wants to be part of it. So I think that is also a negative feeling if you see this image.
Mm-hmm. Okay, another example. Well, I mean, this one is from Italy. On the road, the risk through a kid's eyes. This campaign targeted car drivers and motorcyclists, all road users, and respect of the rules. Also not very highly rated. Well, we don't have the details because it's in Italian, but maybe the Italian representatives can have a clue of why this has been rated. I'm looking at you. No. Well, yeah.
My feeling is that there is only one way attention, and I think that what should be required is there is a two-way. So that is not because you're just a pedestrian that you don't have to pay attention to the others.
Yeah, it was.
For me, that would be the reason why it's not.
There was indeed an issue of the guilty sides referred. Another one, badly rated. Stay a rider, stay on your bike. This one was my favorite negative one. It's the one I reacted personally against. Well, basically it said, when riding, the best protection is to respect the law. Otherwise you get that. But this was also very, very badly rated. So, according to member states, the key elements for a good campaign is to gather all stakeholders, including the riders, have short and popular messages, surprising and creative messages, focus the campaign on giving solutions. So this is a compilation of the recommendation from the member states. So if you want to make a good campaign, please focus on this. It is more convincing if you show which behavior should be preferred to avoid an accident. Target the right media. That was the issue of segmentation. To have a successful campaign, the audience needs to be targeted in the right way. The main difficulty to be identify the right media for a particular audience. Now, a bit contradictory, but it depends, I guess, on the message. To focus on large audience broadcast. Specialized press target riders already safety aware. The best place to broadcast campaigns are movie theaters. 100% attention, we were told. Depends on the message, I guess, again. It is important to alternate campaigns, themes and styles, shocking, humorous constantly in order to keep people mindful for the road safety. But, of course, I mean, the first issue is to precisely identify the targeted problem. Also to address other road users' behavior. We've discussed already slightly about this. Make them aware of the characteristic of riding and power two-wheelers. And complete awareness campaign with prevention activities on the field. To apply the CAST elements, we've referred to the CAST elements indeed. Now, and this is for Siegfried, the biggest problem with awareness campaign is that they usually aren't evidence-based. In the rare case that a campaign is evaluated, it usually only describes reach. Did people see and understand the message? We should measure if behavior actually changed because the campaign, by observing the behavior pre and post campaign, and by not by measuring self-reported behavior. So I guess this is addressed precisely what you were referring, and indeed it is something which is recognized. However, also about the element for consideration, avoid sending negative messages. The wheelchair is being perceived as negative messages. Campaigns should not show the result of an accident, death, etc. Shocking picture, video do not change behavior in the long run. This is coming from several road authorities. Avoiding stigmatizing the rider, as the message won't be accepted. So you have to choose a message that the motorcycling community can cope with, accept. Avoid targeting specific and extreme behavior because it is not the normal behavior of the majority of the rider. Now, obviously, it depends what the target objective is. Avoid developing long and unintelligible message which road users do not recognize, but that, I guess, is valid for all kinds of campaigns, and targeting the wrong population with wrong tools and wrong messages. That was for the recommendation from, let's say, member states. Now, for the motorcycling community, that was much more easy. We had 2 recommendations and 2 avoid. Recommendation, raise awareness of other road users on the presence of riders. Unanimous. When I say unanimous, it's not only the riders, it's not only the users, it's all industry, it's the entire community. And send positive message to riders. And the 2 avoid to send a message that say that the riders are the only responsible for the accident, and give the impression that extreme riding is the regular way of riding. Otherwise, it's just not accepted. Now, in terms of research, there was comments with regard to further research. The issue of being able to evaluate pre- and post behavior, that was indeed relevant, but also elements of risk awareness, the issue of risk behavior, what's risk? Young rider to study the specific risk of novice riders and design effective measures to increase their safety. Also social and cultural differences to have a better understanding, particularly if we are thinking at European level. And other vehicles, driver behavior and behavior in traffic. For instance, behavioral patterns of all road users, interaction between the different road users. And understand the cause of extreme behaviors were also put forward for research. Suggestions now. This is coming from the motorcycling community, recommendations. Safety messages for future campaigns. Car drivers, please pay attention to two-wheelers, especially when approaching crossroads. Regarding single vehicle accidents, don't get above yourself, which refers to the Wallonian campaign we were talking about. Regarding multi-vehicle accident, better look twice, which is the think campaign message, I think. If PTW riders know about their risk, this knowledge can help to avoid and reduce dangers. Always wear protection and proper clothes, even during the hot summer. It can save lives. This is coming from Italy. Use your head. Be careful. Public roads are not motor racing circuit. But also target riders without a license or distracted driving is also put forward as needs for future campaigns. So that's it for the work on this topic. I don't know if you have any questions. If you agree with the outcomes of the collection of information.